The commencing point of the alimentary canal is the mouth, which is also called the buccal cavity. It comprises of the teeth, the tongue, and the salivary glands. When the food enters the mouth, it's physically broken down by the mastication process. That is, the chewing activity of the teeth. Chemically, the saliva from the salivary glands breaks it down. This is where the carbohydrates are partially broken down. And this is the reason why digestion is believed to begin in the mouth. What comes after this? After the buccal cavity comes the food pipe, which is also called the esophagus. And what role does the food pipe perform? It's a muscular tube through which small bolus of food moves further. The food bolus moves very uniquely through this pipe. The movement is due to the alternate rhythmic contraction and relaxation of the esophagus muscles. And this process is given a fancy name. It's called the peristaltic activity. So it's the peristaltic movement which helps in carrying the food from the mouth to the stomach. The stomach is a muscular bag-like organ where most of the digestion takes place. Here, the food is churned thoroughly. At the same time, it's mixed with an important secretion. The stomach secretes a cocktail of 3 essential substances. One is the enzyme pepsin that helps in the partial breakdown of proteins. Second is the hydrochloric acid that is needed for the enzyme pepsin to work. The third thing secreted is the mucus that forms a protective layer around the stomach walls. It helps to protect the stomach cells from the acidic nature of the hydrochloric acid. Now the food is all set to enter the next part, that is the small intestine. But before that, the food has to encounter 2 major secretions from the 2 important glands. One of the glands is the liver that secretes bile, and the supply is regulated by the gallbladder. This is needed for emulsification of fats. That means converting the larger fat globules into smaller ones. The second one on the list is the pancreas. It secretes 3 important enzymes: pancreatic amylase for breakdown of carbohydrates, trypsin for the breakdown of proteins, and lipase for breaking down the lipids or fats. After these juices are mixed with the partially digested food, it's all set to enter the small intestine. This is the longest part of the alimentary canal and comprises of 3 sections. Can you name these for me? That's right. These are the duodenum, jejunum, and the ileum. The small intestine is mainly concerned with both digestion and absorption of food. As the food moves through this, the digested nutrients are absorbed by the cells of the small intestine. Now from here, the food enters the large intestine. This part of the alimentary canal is not at all concerned with the digestion process. It's in fact responsible only for absorption. It majorly comprises of 5 sections. These include the cecum, the ascending colon, the transverse colon, followed by the descending colon, and finally the sigmoid colon and the rectum at the end. As the food moves through the large intestine, maximum amount of water and some salts get absorbed. This results in the formation of feces, which is the undigested matter that needs to be expelled out of the body. The function of expelling the feces out of the body is carried out by the anus. So this was an overview of how our digestive system works.